welcome back to our viewers. You are watching the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring Split, powered by Bacchus Energy Drink. We're just coming in from Game 2 of Match 1, and wow, that was actually a great comeback by JSK Esports.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised considering the momentum of both of these teams, but yeah, I think it's to be expected coming with the composition that Emperor drafted. Very, very squishy, doesn't scale well if it doesn't get super ahead. That is what happened. Eventually the tanks just blocked all of the damage, and the Talon could not one-shot, and just Spear was just dealing lots of damage with the Ivern.
Man, actually, not just that, the timing that
Yeah.
the timing of the teams of
Yeah.
Emperor Esports were a bit off, and not just that, like what you said, the scaling and the squishies. With that said, let's see the standings to see where are they right now. One of the teams are fighting for.
Ooh.
We see the top team is Mineski, and right now top 4 will be going to the playoffs, while the 5, 6, 7 rank will be going to the relegations. I mean, they will be fighting for their spot in the PGS. So right now, I guess the new teams are fighting to stay in the PGS and not get replaced by being in the last place. I mean, with week 6 already, we'll be going to week 7 and 8. We'll see who will be staying in the PGS.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting match, especially since Emperor and Jenksky and Emperor have pretty much the same standing, so it's really up to this game to see their momentum going to the next games.
And we can see that how Emperor and Jenksky played. It's showing that it's week 6. We have to shape up, and let's get to the schedule to see what's gonna come in our next matches. Of course, we still have game 2, which is Emperor Esports versus JSK Esports.
Yeah, we're gonna see how Emperor is going to bounce back from Jenksky's victory earlier, so we're gonna see that.
And match 2, IPT versus
I'm excited for that one.
AEX. I'm also excited to see how the game's gonna play out. I mean, IPT against AEX, they've played on the Rampage stage.
Yeah, finals. That was very intense. I was there. I saw everything. It's like, oh my god. So we're gonna have to go to the drafting phase soon for our second match and second game here between Emperor and Jenksky. So let's get to it. And immediately going here to the bans against Emperor is going to be the Ziggs, Rek'Sai, and Caitlyn. Of course, the Rek'Sai as well as the Ziggs is going to be an easy ban against Emperor Esports. They do not want them using that because Burn puts out so much pressure in the early game with those champions like Rek'Sai, Elise. All of those champions are just so oppressive in the early game if you don't play against them correctly. On the side for Emperor, however, they have chosen to ban Jhin, of course, considering Ace Styles' performance earlier. That's not surprising. The Graves as well, they don't want too much damage on the side of Jenksky. Kha'Zix as well, very scary on Spear's side, but I don't know why they're not banning the Ivern, because earlier Ivern, wow, so much damage. Unexpectedly so much damage.
Unexpected. But notice that they're banning out the Jhin. I mean, Jhin is the most picked ADC.
Definitely one of the most powerful.
Yeah, the most powerful. Same with the Kha'Zix, the most picked jungler in the PGS. And we're gonna see the famous picks and the most picks being banned right now. But look at that, a Jace and an Ezreal.
So it's already going for very pick comp, rather long-range poke composition here coming from Emperor. They might telegraph that too early, because picking the Jace and the Ezreal is already telling the other team, okay, we want to just kite back, have long range, and Jenksky picks up, of course, the Ivern and the Morgana in response to that. The Ivern,
yeah, man,
they let that through.
The Ivern is, again, gonna show itself in the second game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Emperor Esports, they were planning to ban it in the second phase, but I think they're still confident in their own ability. I mean, the confidence of these teams of Emperor Esports is really high right now. But Jenksky, great comeback in the first game.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how these two teams will play it out. Notice that it's the second phase. A Shen and an Ahri is being removed. And who is the Ahri pick for? It's for Fade. I mean, getting away, getting his favorite pick out of the way.
Yeah, and Spotless as well might be able to use that. And of course, the Shen, so much pressure once he reaches level 6 and later in the game, combined with that teleport, there's just way too much control over the map and how fights work. in the late game. So they're banning that out. They don't want that taken away, and the response here is Burns Elise. And really, seeing the Rek'Sai is banned out. Elise is another one of his fallback options. He uses that a lot, and in response, JSK goes for. Is this going to be the Mount? Oh, the Rise will be very exciting if we do see it, though.
The Rise and a
Ooh,
Maokai.
it's going to be locked in here. The
It's
Rise,
locked in.
lots of damage, considerable tankiness. It's going to be a very tough time here for the Cassiopeia if it's not played well.
I mean, the Cassiopeia delivers a lot of damage.
A lot
but
of
that's
damage
in the
as
late
well.
game. But let's see how they will build this Elise. Will it be tanky, bursting? They have the Jace for the burst. Right now, Emperor Esports
Again,
taking
lacking in a tank.
lacking in tank, lacking in the. But in terms of scaling, they do not lack that. But now, tank-wise, maybe it will be Elise picking up a bit of tanky items. But Maokai.
But Maokai, that is such a huge front line, and Emperor has to work so much to break through that front line later in the game. So it's going to be up to Burn. Burn, I think, can gank the top lane very, very easily against the Maokai, combined with the damage of the Jace. Because earlier in the game, Maokai only has the sustain, right? Doesn't have a lot of inherent tankiness. Usually builds Doran's Ring first, so it's not going to be up to Burn, I think. But Spear, I think, is not going to make that easy.
I mean, with two trees on Jenski's side,
Yep.
I'm pretty scared for Emperor Esports
Power of
because of the
nature.
Maokai and the Ivern. The shield
Yeah, the shields
will
are going to
really
keep them alive.
synergize well with Whistle's Maokai. I mean, with that said, here are the matchups right now, but notice that the eyes are again on Fade being the mid laner. Being the Cassiopeia, you have to build offensively. And let's see how Spotless will answer to Fade's Cassiopeia. I mean, Rice can build tankiness, but Rod of the Ages is a okay pickup, but not the pickup. I mean, Abyssal Scepter
Yeah.
will still be a lot of help for him in the lane.
Yeah, it's definitely all eyes on Fade, but it's up to Spotless to fight that without looking into her eyes, because that's going to turn him into stone. And I want to talk about Spear here because of how high his skill participation is. That's always important. But let's save that for later. We have loaded onto the Rift here.
And now it is game 2 of match 1. Jenski on the blue side versus Emperor Esports on the red side. Let's see, will this be a 1-1 or a 2-0 sweep for Jenski Esports?
We're going to see here, but for now, okay. No lineups of scrimmage for Jenski. They want to invade here. Let's see how they're going to go about this. It seems no one knows on the side of Emperor what's going to happen here. They might actually be able to catch out MJ if he's not careful. Okay, the Shock Blast reveals that their plan. So they have, I think, to back
They
off.
have to
Yeah.
back off. I mean, maybe it was MJ's gut feel thinking that Emperor, I mean,
Yeah, that
Jenski's-
menacing
Jenski
feeling
was
that
gonna
I think I'm
invade
going to
that.
die here.
Yeah.
And just whips out the Shock Blast. But yeah, I want to talk about Spear because of how high his skill participation is. That's always very important for a jungler. How much impact you have in the game as a whole, how much pressure, how much you're snowballing your lanes. And I think Spear's been doing so well at that across the split, despite the relatively low place in the standings for both of these teams. 70%, and he is always taking Ivern's one of his signature picks, right? And you have to consider that Ivern's able to give out blue buffs, red buffs, blue buffs and red buffs. So
and look at the keystone.
Yeah.
Elise picking up the Thunderlord Decree.
Oh.
So we're gonna expect not a tanky build, of course. Strength of the Colossus on the Maokai. And Ivern again picking up that Thunderlord
those early
Decree.
ganks as well, the burst,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
much
look-
more damage in the late game.
Going back to what you said about Spear, I mean, he has been consistent with the Ivern. Such a great pick. But I wonder how Burn is going to answer too. Look, Burn has been consistent by Emperor
Yeah.
Esports with his Rek'Sai, front line.
Lots of pressure always.
lots
That's
of
his play
pressure in the
style.
front side. But let's see how these two junglers will answer each other. Will they have a standoff where they're going to observe each other's movements?
Yeah, that really communication and vision are paramount for this kind of matchup, where both of your junglers are very, very active. But yeah, Spear, considering the Ivern pick, his skill participation is around 70%.
Whistle not winning against those trade-offs. Great pickup though with a corrupting potion instead of a Doran's Ring. A Doran's Ring is a good it's a safe start, but not against a
Not
Jace.
against Jace. You have
Not
to
against a
put
Jace.
out the trades and the sustain with that corrupting potion. But we're going to see Burn is again here as I predicted, going for a gank here in the top lane.
Let's see if the stun is gonna land. That will signal MJ to go all in. Whistle
Ooh.
flashes for that, and that would be a flash burnt off the whistle. Burn might just wanted to burn the flash. I mean,
Still
with the flash,
staying.
with the flash gun. Of course, there's no wards there. So with that said,
Okay,
the
there's a sapling though.
will spot him away.
Yeah, but that's actually really good flash reaction time coming from Whistle. But yeah, the sapling easily reveals Burn as he goes for another gank here. Let's see if anything's going to happen in mid lane, because Rise at this point does not have a lot of escape tools. He's only Storm Raider Surge. Looks like for now.
Spear,
Ooh.
very sneaking. Hopping over the wall with the blast gun. All skills is on to Deuces. He flashes, but the heal will sustain him.
Ooh.
The first blood will be going to Ace style. Really easy peek. I mean, it just goes to show how Spear is very efficient with the Ivern. And now Whistle overextending his luck, giving a kill to Burn. That's going to be a 1-to-1 scoreboard. But if Whistle keeps giving kills to either Burn or MJ, he's gonna suffer. I mean, Maokai has that tankiness, level 6. That's not gonna help against Jace.
Yeah, and looking here at the bot lane matchup, it's going to be High versus Ace style. They have relatively comparable GPM and KP, but the KDA, I feel like, yeah, High definitely has the lead here. But earlier in that game, and earlier in that gank, that very sneaky by Spear, and that really cements his place as one of the most active junglers. Like Hechizo, very, very active, lots of pressure, and I feel that's very important in these games in Season 7.
And not just that, High with his, the Jhin was always on point. I mean, Jhin is actually a very quick ADC, and we can see that A-Style also picked it up, High also picked it up. High is also good with poke champions. Let's say he picked up the Ezreal,
Varus and the
he was
Ezreal.
also the Varus and the Jhin. But with Ezreal against the Varus, I'm not really sure if that's favorable for High right now. Just picking up a Tear of the Goddess because of that Ezreal lineup, it gives A-Style this go-to signal to also build Tear of the Goddess instead of a serrated Dirk or an early Yo's Ghostblade, knowing that Ezreal won't have that much damage.
Yeah, they'll want to actually match that for the mana sustain in lane and that will allow him to actually match the poke coming from High. The opportunity cost there is with serrated Dirk, you can just keep going aggressive onto High. He can't match your damage, so you just keep pushing him out of lane.
This looks
Burn.
really bad for
Oh
Burn.
no!
This comes a scissor attack by the members of JSK. Burn rappels away, but soaking up the damage.
No.
High still catching that bind, burning his flesh to get away. He won't be getting away with the Rises Rune Prison. It's just clean up right now. Fade, fatal mistake, missing that petrifying gaze gives them that awkward silence. That what's gonna happen? That's being said, 2 members of EMP are taken down
without any deaths on the side of Jenksky, and I don't feel like High is as comfortable on the Ezreal as he is on any other champions he's played, because there's no excuse for that. First, earlier, he got caught by CC. Now again, by Ivern CC, allowing him to get killed. So it's really, really strange how even with the Essence shift, he's giving away these many kills, these kills.
You gotta expect that Morgana bind is just pure nightmare. And now Fade, double bind onto him, cleanses himself away from it, but 3 against 2, I don't think so. EMP will have to run away. Burn taking in that exhaust and leaving Fade for the scraps, but here comes Fade, not going down without a fight. Here comes the re-engage, but will not happen because of Spear's raw damage as Ivern getting a double kill. A 2-2 trade, but still giving Spear that 3-2 KDA plus the Thunderlord's Decree, a lot of damage.
Oh, here comes MJ and
MJ
Deuces.
going all in at the Spear, goes into Daisy tap in there, high five. Let's see what's gonna happen. MJ tried to dodge the skills, but still, MJ pinpoint accuracy, not just that, the basic attack reset of switching from the hammer between stances gives him the reset, gets the kill.
Let's look at the replay here at the fight in top lane. MJ is going to push away Whistle here, and He's just going to again, but the rotation here is Whistle has to go back, and yeah, actually he just gets killed here by MJ. That actually just gives him the opportunity to go to the mid lane, transition to the mid lane after that, and help with a fight, and that helps equalize the gold here by shutting down Spear.
Spear has been shut down, but on the top lane, Whistle sidestepping, dodging the skills, forcing the flash.
Lots of resources burned for that.
Of course, MJ burning the flash just for a kill.
But
But right now, Whistle has to teleport, has to flash. But in terms of KDA, of course, it's a given that MJ has 2 kills. Gonna rush that Black Cleaver, gonna shred that tree, no tankiness or whatsoever. That's gonna help him in the anti-position fight. And Fade still going all in despite the members of Jenksky just right in his face, did not see that coming. He should have expected that, knowing that Burn really felt like something was off. He didn't go in to help Fade.
Yeah.
See how it happened in the mid side,
the
very
very
near
least-
the turret.
Yeah, at the very least though, Burn got the revenge kill against Spear, who was also caught off guard there, but still Fade playing so aggressively against an unwarded River, that's definitely a problem. And looking at the support Blaze, actually I like how Blaze earlier, very sneaky roam into mid lane to transition to a kill onto Fade. It's definitely unexpected. They thought that the bot lane would recall, and going to mid lane there to secure a kill is just giving Spotless a very good lead there. And look at him, KDA, GPM, kill participation, much higher, a bit higher than Deuce's here.
And not just that, it's how the Morgana is so useful.
Yeah,
You can roll with the Morgana knowing that the bind's range is just insane. The range
the
of
hitbox
bind-
is
yeah,
ridiculous
it's crazy.
as well.
It's ridiculous. That's why Blaze was able to roam around
Oh.
without any trouble. And here comes Burn, invading the space of Spear, goes into Daisy. He might get the kill. It's a really close call for Burn actually. If
Yeah, 'cause
ever
The
Spear-
Thunderlords.
Yeah, the Spear, if he ever landed Thunderlord, that would have spelled ugly for him. And now MJ duel against Whistle, dangerously low. The Arcane Smash will finish him off.
Comes
But
Burn.
oh, Burn wasting that stun will pay for the
Oh.
penalty. Giving a double kill to Whistle. The flash was burned. The stun was wasted, same as the combo by Elis to land a Thunderlord's Decree.
Yeah.
That gave Whistle.
I think he underestimated the damage output of Whistle. The Arcane Smash is definitely very good scaling with skill point levels. Plus, the sustain coming from Maokai's own passive is going to help him survive that. And blindly firing the web shot into the brush is definitely not advisable when you're trying to clean up someone, especially giving away 2 kills and double buffs to the top laner is going to make MJ's job there, the top lane, much harder. So Fade here, what is going to happen? Spear is thirsty for blood.
A tree that is thirsty for blood. Wait, I
Yep.
can't really.
Scary tree.
Very scary because Spear right now, of course, he was 3-0, but now
Yeah.
he's 3-3. It just goes to show how EMP is actually switching up their playstyle.
Yeah, Burn has to
yeah.
jungle a lot more aggressively because if he goes to a lane and ganks, a Spear on that Ivern is just going to counter gank, and it feels like a 3v2. If you go for a 2v2 gank with a counter gank, it feels like a 3v2 because of Daisy. And we're going to see how all that transitions here with Spear trying to get Ocean Break for Jinx here. It doesn't seem like Emperor knows, or they don't want to actually contest this. They don't want to risk it right now. So
And
that's the Ocean Break.
the Ocean Drake uncontested. That is easy pick, easy objectives for Jenksky. With that Ocean Drake advantage,
It's going to be a lot easier to lane, especially Spotless, who's very mana hungry, is going to have a fun time having that kind of regeneration. Ooh.
well warped to reposition to his members, to his allies. 3 members are there, focusing the firepower onto Bird. Rappels away, gives it enough time for him to reposition. That was a messy play for Jenksky's side. Spear getting away from the fight. But here comes
Oh.
Whistle from the top lane. Fade has been singled out by his allies, giving him the kill to a Whistle. He's on a rampage right now. That's going to help him build more and more offensive. And now A-Style with the pick off with the Varus' piercing arrow.
Wow, the rotations come from Jenksky are so on point here, collapsing when they least expect it, because Emperor is taking that fight thinking that, oh, we can handle this, but then suddenly more members, including Blaze, who has been roaming so well here in the game, allowing them to get those kills, and that extra kill there at the back line against Fade is just cherry on top on that gank. And the responses to the rotations here are unexpected of Emperor, I think. Their momentum is just slowing down since the start of the split, in this game at least, it's visible. So I'm really wondering what they can do to remedy this, is just to be mindful of the possible ganks and roams.
Mindful of that, and also wait it out. You have an Ezreal and the Cassiopeia. This is week 6. It's almost the PGS.
It's crucial.
It's crucial. The PGS will be, the spring split will be ending really, it's soon. I mean, week 8 is going to come soon, week 7 and 8. The 8 last place. You don't want to be last place in the PGS, and you have to stay. I mean, new teams right now, they are aiming to stay.
It's very competitive,
it's very competitive right now. Cutthroat, actually. I mean, it's very cutthroat. Top 4 goes to playoffs. The 5-6-7 rank goes to the relegations against the Build Over Finals tournament. The pressure is showing right now.
It's just the rules of nature. The strongest and most fittest to change are going to survive, but it seems like Emperor right now is not in tip-top shape. We'll see how all of that pans out as High scales up, as Fade also scales up, and Burn here doesn't seem to be going for any tanky items, going straight for the Murder Machine Spider here. Probably going to try and take out Ace style later in the game.
Top lane, MJ soloing the Maokai with Spear on the backside. For the backup, he is in a spot that he does not want to be. Burning the flash to not, of course, there will be the follow-up by Whistle. He can power dive, and the petrifying gaze by Faye missed again. I mean, it was the slow, only not the face run. Didn't get
Spear
petrified. And now Spear, sandwich between the members of EMP, gives the go signal for JSK to go into the fight, but we'll see how Whistle was just left there. I mean, it was a 3 versus 1 fight. Very close, actually. 2 members were in kill range. MJ and Burn blinking red. I mean, if he had the blinking maelstrom up, he could have gotten a double kill. But I don't think it was
that's a very big overcommitment there coming from JSK, and that just allows him to get sandwiched.
Oh,
misses it.
That's gonna hurt for them, and of course you don't want to overcommit without any return coming to you. I mean, we saw that in the previous teams when the Maokai goes all in. Some members are just not ready. I think Burn is having a hard time being in the front line, knowing that Elise is not tanky.
And not building any tanky items too.
Going on the Thunderburst Brigade will really deny him of his strength as a jungler.
Who gives it to Ace style?
Oh man, Fade just being the target of everything. Ace style getting a kill. That's gonna spell, I mean, disaster for them. 4-0-1. That's with the Yomu's Ghostblade and a Tear of the Goddess. And look what High is building. Still on that Tear of the Goddess. Plus the shield.
It's very, very low damage compared to Ace style, who's already just left the tier as it is right now and goes straight for the Yomu's Ghostblade with his 4 kills. It's definitely High is not going to be competitive in damage or any free hits anytime soon, so it's going to be so hard for Emperor, slowing down the rate at which he scales up, and it's very, very difficult.
It's very difficult, and MJ picking up the Executioner's Calling, giving Grievous Wounds, does not want Whistle to have the sustain.
Yeah, so much sustain. That's how he's been winning the trades against MJ. Just the natural sustain from his kit allows him to out-sustain the damage from MJ, especially after the damage to melee form nerfs to the MC Hammer against Jace. So that just allows him to overpower this usually very, very oppressive top laner Jace.
This is going to be actually a different game right now. It is almost 17 minutes in the time marker. They have to know that. Fade picked up the Maria Mulligan, maybe gonna follow it up with the Beastal Scepter.
Yeah.
Cassiopeia is now scaling little by little, baby steps at a time. But will JSK let that happen in their favor? Getting that Drift Title would provide Whistle a lot of pressure.
It's gonna make MJ's top top lane life a nightmare after he gets this. But Infernal Drake in less than half a minute. We'll see how both of these teams play against that. It seems like JSK will have time to transition to the Infernal Drake if they choose to.
And Spotless dueling onto Fade. Fade cleanses out of it, goes all in, flash in, round warps away. He is gonna go away, but look at that. That poison will not finish him up with the shield. What is this? Burn is being outnumbered by the members of JSK Esports. It's a messy fight. Fade in the middle of everyone. Tsunami to disengage, but it will not happen because JSK Esports will not let any members get away. Another Bayern landed by Spear. It's pure cleanup right now.
And another free dragon on the side of JSK on top of the 4 kills they had. He just got Emperor just overcommitted again onto a target. Almost there. Oh, Spotless almost being taken down. The poison was nearly there, but the shield come from Spear was just too much for the poison.
Yes, the Ivern should really have been removed.
Yeah, the Ivern I think is one of the biggest factors in this JSK versus Emperor series.
And with that said, the Infernal Drake will be going to JSK's side. But notice how it was started with the Ocean Drake. This is going to be Ocean, Infernal, Infernal, and Ocean. If JSK gets all the Drakes, they will most likely have maybe 3 stacks of Infernal or 2 stacks of Ocean Drake. We've seen it actually. When the game starts with an Ocean Drake, it always most follows up with an Infernal Drake, and after that, another Infernal Drake.
Ooh, that's going to be the search and win link. So just follow that and follow the instructions. It's okay if you're not the first to actually get this, because at the end of the day, there will be a raffle for all of the people that entered, even if they weren't first. Then they will get the mystery gift. One of them will get a mystery gift, so just watch out for that until the end of the day. But now, Emperor Esports really wants that Infernal Drake because Hai does not have a lot of damage. He's yet to really scale up. Having to build that Manamune first really slows down his damage progression. So, what they really want is for this next Infernal Drake as well. Let's look at the replay here. They're just cornered here. Whistle and Blaze just take out Burn and Fade here. It's just too much for them because Fade overcommitted to the Rise, to Spotless. And here Fade stuck between a rock and a hard place. The rest of his team can't help him. So he just tries to go for kills, but
there's Daisy with the knockup.
And Hai was not there for damage backup. And MJ was not too active in the shot blasts.
Also, same with that. And going to what happened, see how it was just a cleanup.
Just a cleanup, and the Dragon was just a bonus hit. And yeah, Emperor really wanted that Infernal Drake because that's going to allow them. Oh, the Baron already at 20 minutes. Spotless gets the kill.
Spotless picking up that easy kill off the Burn. This will cost them the Baron as early as 20 minutes in that marker. Hai has no mana, has no health to actually sustain a fight. Deuces dangerously low. Spotless with that Rise. It is 20 minutes in the marker. It is time for him to show that damage with Rise. But we struggle with Fade. He's always in a really weird position. Always overcommitting, trying to get a kill. But
that costs the rest of Emperor.
That
and right now,
the rest of the members.
All of those overcommitments, all of those misplays, all of that unawareness of roams and ganks has achieved a 12k gold lead, 11k gold lead for JSK, 2 dragons plus a Baron, and now they're just going to demolish these turrets here. Oh my god, Spotless!
Lord, that's a lot of damage onto Burn. He was dangerously low. I mean, that was a really close call. Burn is always easily picked up. I guess it's used to being the tank, but at least if you don't build tanking, you don't want to initiate. That's what we're seeing again in the second game. EMP does not have a decent frontliner and the scaling of that tank, while as JSK Esports has that Maokai. And wow, again, the Morgana bind plus Tormented Soil will really help the Varus.
Yeah, the full lethality Varus is just so deadly, and now they're just breaking the base apart with all their sheer pure force. Fate doesn't even get a chance to fight back. Spotless is just zoning everyone. Look at him.
This is game set for JSK Esports if they choose to end the game already. Members of EMP, they are not
still alive.
Wow.
Whistle.
Whistle, blinking red. just like 5% HP. Oh, here comes the two-shot barrage to get the shot down. But I mean,
Yeah, but
it is
A-Style
going
is
to
taking
be,
down his base very quickly
yeah,
with
the
a
base
Baron.
is like a wreck right
Wow,
now. It's a
wreck.
mess.
23 minutes as well. All of this snowballing from every roam, from Blaze, from ganks and counter ganks come from Spear, and how overpowering Spotless is in the mid lane. And really, Hai has not had a chance to shine in this game, even with the Ezreal pick. It's just 22 minutes and not able to scale up fast enough to keep up with Jengski's onslaught here. And that slowness in their scaling has amounted to over a 15k gold lead for Jengski. And it's actually, I find it very hard to find ways and think of ways for Emperor to actually come back, because it's just way too hard. Hell, even Whistle has the Magi Soul Stealer at this point, so it's
Oh wow.
so his damage as well as his tankiness are up there, and wow.
The confidence of Jengski Esports is at an all-time high, with Whistle picking up that Magi Soul Stealer. But it is going to be the Infernal Drake, almost live, just less than 1 minute away. But
Just a
will
minute.
Jensky wait for that? I mean, 2 inhibitors, 3 inhibitors
Oh.
are down on the side of EMP. Spear, knowing that he has the shield plus Daisy for the tag team match, he goes all in onto Fate. It's always Fate, the first member down, and that Maelstrom by Maokai, just a surprise damage, and EMP
Wow.
cannot come back from that snowball.
This is definitely game set
Spear.
here because of how powerful and how snowballed Jengski has become. Look at those waves of super minions. I don't think Emperor has a chance of taking this game back at all. And that's the Nexus going down. And this is game 2, 2-0 for Jengski Esports versus Emperor Esports. And they get,
What a comeback.
yeah,
I mean,
what a comeback. From the first
Jensky,
game and then the momentum.
the
Yeah.
momentum was clearly in Jensky's side, and not on the first game,
Yeah.
but on the second game it was on their side, and you can clearly see the new team, 2 new teams fighting it out in the 6th week. It shows how they are adapting.
I'm not sure exactly what happened there with Emperor Esports. Fade had a lot of times where he goes in, overcommits, and doesn't realize that there's 3 members, Blaze included, collapsing onto him. So it's very difficult for the rest of Emperor Esports to keep up with that kind of damage. And look at the end stats here.
And looking at the end stats,
Wow.
Spotless 319.
A-Style without a death as well, just very safe, being kept safe by Blaze. With a front line there, he has the front line from Spear, front line from Whistle, as well as the mid line coming from Spotless. So really just safely, with lots of lethality, just piercing through the enemy team.
And looking at the end game stats in terms of damage, pure damage coming in from the ADC of Jensky.
Blaze almost did as much damage as Hyde. That's how unimpactful the Ezreal was in that game, and I'm not sure why that pick was, considering the playstyle of that Jengski has shown. I'm not sure why picking Ezreal there was a good idea, because Jengski, they go in fast, right? With their front line as well, and I don't think picking Ezreal with that very slow damage scaling will help against it, especially against the Varus, one of the strongest other than Jhin and Ashe.
Clearly, with the new lethality buff, we're seeing a new ADC surfacing up. It's not anybody Assassin.
The Manamune is just not
It's
competitive.
not anymore there. It's not ACs. And congratulations to Jensky Esports.
2-0.
2-0. It's not just Emperor Esports making a comeback. It's also showing that Jensky Esports, they don't want to fall behind in the trend. They want to stay strong, stay in the PGS. It is the 6th week.
A
The
cornered
pressure.
wolf is very, very dangerous.
It's very dangerous, and the 6th week is just showing the pressure is all on the new teams to stay in the PGS. So guys, there you have it. That was the first match concluding with Jensky Esports sweeping the game with 2-0. And you are watching the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring Split, powered by Bacchus Energy Drink. I'm Vulcan, and joining with me was Atlas. We'll come back after a short break. The next game is IPT versus AEX.
Rematch of the finals. We'll be right back.
Members, it is allies, 3 members are there, focusing the firepower on Bird, rappels away, gives it enough time for him to reposition. That was a message playing with Jensen's side here. Right, here comes Whistle from the top lane. Ray has been singled out by his allies, giving him the kill. Whistle, he's on a rampage right now. That's gonna help him build Well works away. He is gonna look at that voice will not get
shield,
out with the shield. What is this? Burn is being outnumbered by the members of JSK Esports. It's a message. Nice play in the middle of everyone. Not even disengage, but what will not happen because JSK Esports will not let any members get away. Another fire spear. It's Serena bleeding further down off to the side of the spear, knowing that he has the shield base for the match. He goes all in on the fade. It's always fade. First member down and that nails scored by Mountain. A surprise damage and EMP cannot come back from that snowball.
This is definitely game set here because of how powerful and how snowballed JSK has become. Look at those waves of super minions. I don't think Emperor has a chance of taking this game back on. And that's the Nexus going down. And this is game 2, 2-0 for JSK Esports versus Emperor Esports.